Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving headfirst into a question that, well, it feels like it's everywhere these days. Is artificial intelligence the key to us unlocking, like, the next level of human potential? Or are we about to get totally outsmarted by our own creations? We're digging into a super interesting research article for this. The Symbiotic Evolution, Artificial Intelligence, AI, Enhancing Human Intelligence, HI. Catchy, right? Plus, we'll bring in some real-world examples to, really wrap our heads around it all.
And it's a question with a bit of a plot twist, actually, because for the longest time, talking about AI has always been this humans versus machines kind of thing.
Mm.
But what we're seeing now in research and even just in our everyday lives, it's so much more interesting than a, who wins situation.
Okay, so spill the tea. What's this new way of looking at AI all about then?
It's about shifting gears, really, moving away from AI as just like artificial and more towards AI as think augmented. Instead of trying to build something that thinks like us, what if we used AI to help us think better than we ever could on our own?
So not replacing us, more like AI as a, what's the word, a tool.
Exactly. Think of it like this. A microscope doesn't replace a biologist, right? It gives them a new way to see, a deeper understanding. Augmented intelligence, it's like a microscope for the human mind.
Okay, I love that analogy. We're not talking sci-fi here either. The article gets into how this is already playing out in things like healthcare. So let's, like, zoom in on some of these real-world examples, because it's one thing to say it's like a microscope for the mind, but what does that actually look like, in a doctor's office, for example?
Okay, so imagine, right, you're a doctor and you've got a patient whose symptoms just aren't adding up. AI can take all their medical history, their test results, even genetic information, and compare it against, like, a massive database of other cases.
Wow, so it's almost like having a whole team of specialists instantly weigh in.
Exactly. And that means quicker, more accurate diagnoses.
No more waiting weeks for test results just to find out you need even more tests. So we're talking about catching diseases earlier, maybe even preventing them.
Absolutely. The article, it really highlights how AI can detect patterns, these tiny anomalies in huge data sets in a way that humans just can't. We're talking about identifying things like cancers at stage 0 when they're most treatable, or even predicting things like heart attacks before they happen.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's a game changer. And the article also mentions personalized medicine. How does AI fit into that whole thing?
That's where it gets really wild. Imagine a world where treating something as, like, common as the flu is tailored to your DNA, minimizing side effects, making it crazy effective.
Sign me up. It's like having a custom-made medicine cabinet just for you.
That's the idea. And AI can analyze all that individual data to create these hyper-personalized therapies, which was basically impossible before.
Okay, that is mind-blowing. What about education? It feels like that's another area that's ripe for an AI revolution.
Totally. I mean, one of the biggest challenges in education is figuring out how to teach in a way that works for every single student, right?
Ah.
Because everyone learns differently.
Right, at their own pace, in their own way.
Exactly. And the article talks about how AI can personalize that learning experience. We've been stuck in this one-size-fits-all model for so long.
So no more cookie-cutter lesson plans. Every student gets something tailored to them.
Exactly. Imagine AI tutors that adjust to a student's progress as they're working, giving them feedback and support right when they need it.
It's like having a personal tutor on call 24/7. Man, I wish I had that in school. But, okay, we can't talk about AI without mentioning its impact on, well, work. Are the robots really coming for our jobs?
The million-dollar question, right? Honestly, the article's take is pretty optimistic. It's less about AI stealing jobs and more about it creating new ones.
Unless Terminator, more like Iron Man's
Yeah.
Jarvis.
Exactly. Think about it. How much of your workday is spent on stuff that's, like, kind of mindless and repetitive? Data entry, scheduling, making reports. AI can handle all of that.
Okay, so then we're freed up to focus on the things that actually require, like, human ingenuity, the creative stuff, the problem solving.
Right. And honestly, that shift could lead to jobs that we haven't even thought of yet. Jobs that are about designing, implementing, and managing these AI systems. Jobs that really require understanding both the tech side and the human side of things.
It's funny because it almost feels like the more we can offload to AI, the more human our work actually becomes.
It's true. It's about working smarter, not harder. But of course, there are always two sides to every coin, right? Even if we're talking about AI helping us out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're standing on the edge of something huge with AI, but like you said, it's not just about what it can do. It's about, you know, Are we using it for good? Are we being responsible about it? All of that.
It's true, and you hit the nail on the head there. The article really emphasizes that, approaching AI with this mindset of collaboration, not competition.
So less humans versus machines and more humans and machines working together, like teaming up to solve the big problems.
Exactly. I mean, imagine a world where AI is helping us, I don't know, cure diseases, deal with climate change, maybe even tackle things like poverty. The possibilities are kind of endless.
Okay, now that is a future I can get behind, but that means making sure AI benefits everybody, not just like a select few, right?
100%. It's about using AI to boost like our collective brain power. You know what I mean? If we can amplify our creativity and problem solving as a species, just think what we could accomplish.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into all things AI, what's the one thing you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest thing is this. The future of AI, it's not set in stone. We all have a say in how this plays out. So stay curious, ask questions, be part of the conversation, because we're all figuring this out together, you know?
It's a future bursting with potential, and hopefully one where humans and AI, we figure out how to share the stage. Thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive into the world of AI.